very active Zerg player and as almost a replacement for Dark. Dark in recent times has been less active and of course has been looking after his family, is now a father, is now a pappy, if you will, and the military service is on the horizon here. Shin been doing his best to kind of fill those shoes, but those are big shoes to fill, especially against his current opponents. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg for Gaming Gladiators. It is Shin. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have this week's Wardy TV Monday runner-up, the South Korean Protoss. It is Classic. We go again. Classic performing very well this week in the Wardy TV Monday. If you missed out, I do recommend the VODs. We did cast it, of course, as we always do on a regular basis. I believe in that event, Classic did bring down Gumiho, able to bring down some other top players, of course, to make it to those finals to face off against Clem in those finals. I mean, as you can imagine, Clem, he was the favorite player. Clem is a beast, best Terran or best player in the world even. You can go that far. But regardless, Classic, of course, has been doing well for himself. For a while, though, has been in the shadow of Hero. True, has been in his shadow. We saw that at Gamers 8, Classic did very well for himself, even outperforming Hero. But that was, what, 2 years ago? 2 years ago at this point. Since then, Classic has been having a bit of a harder time really shining and really being able to find his footing. Has been very experimental with some of his play. We've seen him go into Tempest rushes at times. Did kind of popularize that in GSL a couple of years ago. Like has been aggressive himself, but we'll see. We'll see how he does compared to Shin. We shall see. Likewise, Shin has been a very active player in the online tournament scene. I would say Shin has been the most active Zerg player, more so than Dark, more so than anyone else. I mean, there's no one else to name. More so than Dark, more so than Solar. Rainer and Cyril, they don't play in online tournaments. They don't play in open cups, I should emphasize. Tournaments like KSL, Wardy TV Monday, Pegasaur Cups, the Monday nights events are open cups as well. Like Shin, he's playing in almost everything. He's like the online Zerg hero. And we'll see how he does compare. For now, Hash Gas Pull, standard opener, pulls out of gas. Setting up for his third base, likewise Stargate opener out for Classic. We don't really expect Classic to deviate too much. Classic, he is willing to go Glaive Adepts, for example, every now and then, but not here, not in game 1. Not yet. The soup did, true, the soup did not lie. It did not lie that game. True, it's a rarity. You're not wrong. Oh, meanwhile, that is not an Oracle. That is a Void Ray opener instead. Interesting. It is going to be the Void Ray. Is getting into that Void Ray. Classic dipping in. Just trying to scout, just trying to make sure there's no early gases, no early tech, no early lair or Roach Warren. And the Void Ray has arrived. Now, the power of a Void Ray opener is that you hunt down Overlords and you keep the Zerg player in the dark. There's a bit of a give and take. The downside, of course, is that the Void Ray is less mobile than the Oracle, and you are more vulnerable to Ling run-bys and Ling aggression. Oracles do an amazing job at defending, Void Rays less so. As Lings, they hit the base, Adept gets surrounded, Adept goes down. And again, the Void Ray is out of position. So nice pick off here by Shin, gets the Adept. Meanwhile, that is a very fast Twilight Council. That's a part of the wall? Wait, what? Interesting. Now, because of how fast this was thrown down at the same time as the expansion, by the way. This, I would imagine, is going to be Glaive Adepts. I would imagine Glaives here out of Classic. I'm just a little bit in shock here that it's a part of the wall. This is never seen, because usually you want to hide this. Usually you want this to be a surprise. But, Classic, he has no secrets. And, oh, he's going to lose another Adept. Another Adept goes down. Pylon as well. Massive pick up here by Shin. Shin pulls away. Shin has not seen the natural. And meanwhile, that is not Glaives. That is early Blink. Interesting. Now, what does early blink mean? First things first, blink, because it's so fast, is going to finish in time if Shin was going for a German taxi. If he was going for a roach all-in off of like 2.5 bases, then Classic would be safe against that, would be ideal. Likewise, Classic can also turn this defense into an offensive build and be more active and more aggressive with his blink stalkers, as that is a massive gateway explosion. Okay, getting up to 6 gates. Going for a 6-gate setup. The downside of this build is your upgrades. The Forge is just not finishing. As you can imagine, usually your Forge is lined up with your Twilight Council and you can get your upgrades at the same time. Here the Forge is delayed because of the insanely fast Twilight Council instead. So upgrades are going to be far later. It does mean that Classic, it takes him a little bit longer to scale into a longer game. But he makes up with that with early blink and with potential early pickoffs. If Classic plays this well enough, he could even try to force a cancel and even kill the 4th base of Shin. This 4th base can be under fire. Okay, assuming that Classic does move out. He only has the 1 Oracle though. Interesting. So typically, like, the strength of these Blink Stalkers early on is usually emphasized and usually supported by additional Oracles, right? When you open up in this matchup, we go double Oracle, sometimes triple Oracle. In Hero's case, sometimes quadruple Oracle. With only 1 Oracle, this army is actually far weaker. It's that much more exposed. So Classic has to be very careful, as he has limited pulsar beams to support himself and limited stasis traps as well. Goes for the relation links, they can just dive in. Force out a blink. Shin biding his time. Behind this, taking up into Hydras. Going Roach Hydra, actually. Classic, he wants to force a cancel, but I'm not so sure he can. Okay, gonna be zoned away. Lings, they threaten us around. No stasis traps. Gets a Queen. Queen does fall. Shin going for a counterattack instead. Does move out. The Adept is gonna be able to hold the line. Whew. Adept does hold. Link's trying to flood in. Stalkers, they find more queens. They got 2 earlier, they get 3 here. 5 queens going down. Link's a force back. Classic doing well. Here comes Roach Hydra, and Classic, he did not kill the expansion. Did not get the 4th. Classic being forced further back. Behind this, taking up in towards Archons and Storm. Temple Archives is now done. Oh, he's getting called out. These are expensive losses for Classic. I can ideally want to build this. Oh no! The Oracle goes down! That wasn't quite worth it. I was going to say, ideally you want to build up your store count over time. Build up your Oracles as well, but... yeah, Lings, they come in for a surround as well. There's the Blink. Lings, they can chase this down. Catching a Stalker. And Classic, once again, he's just caught out in the open. Trying to hold his own. Bleeding out more Stalkers. Afraid to look. 16. Oh, 16 Stalkers going down. Mainly for Lings. Has gotten 12 Hydras at least. True. Did get 12. Shin rotates. Storm is not yet done. Shin diving on the High Templar. He wants them up. Can he get them? Pulls back with the Hydras. There we go. He gets 1. He gets 2. There's 2 High Templar left. And they will barely survive. Despite that, though, he just rallies in. Better concave here for Shin. Storm is done in 1 second. There's 1 High Templar left. He has 1 Storm. Oh my god, it's barely alive. On 1 HP. And despite having 1 Storm, he can't quite land it. There we go, Storm comes in. That's all he had left. Again, there's no shield batteries, no stack defense, no stasis traps. Probes are going down, and the 3rd base is being broken. Again, the build of Classic was lackluster. He rushed into Blink, but he didn't get the base. He got caught out himself. Didn't have the Oracles to support himself either. And with that, Shin, he overwhelms. He does overwhelm, takes down the final High Templar. GG gets called, and Shin, he will take a 1-0 lead. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A very committed start out of Classic, and again, it just wasn't quite worth it in the end. He delayed a bunch of his tech in favor of early Blink, and what did he get done with it? He did kill Queens, true. Did snipe some Queens, but he was hoping for more. Hoping to get more with that early Blink. With that, SHIN does overwhelm, and SHIN is now one game away from making it to the semifinals. Classic, he has to fight back here and now to try to force the ace match. We'll see if he can, as we load into a much smaller map, as we load into Whispers of Gold. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. It is Classic. Getting down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. The pressure is now on, and it's going to be on even further here as we load into Whispers of Gold. Again, Whispers of Gold, it is one of the smallest maps in the map pool, a very aggressive map as well, short rush distance by ground, and very exposed third and fourth base. So very exposed bases. Because of that, we could see Classic once again. I was going to say we could see him go for a fast blink again, but I don't like the idea of doing that 2 games in a row. Instead, we could be seeing Glaive Adepts. True, we could see a more Glaive Adept heavy composition. We could see a more standard start into a 3-base all-in instead of a 3-base play. Same as applicable to SHIN. We'll keep an eye on them. We'll keep an eye on them. We have been seeing a lot of Glaive Adepts on Whispers of Gold as of late. So that is going to be at the forefront of my mind coming into this game. But we keep an eye on our players. So far, Gate expanded Cybercore, standard opener out of Classic. Likewise, SHIN as well. Hatch Gas Pool. Nothing crazy early on. I mean, it is a rarity to see like 12 pools. We see it every now and then, maybe like once a week sort of thing. Every now and then. But this series as well, SHIN doesn't go for the hatch block. Not yet. Getting his natural up and running. Now we're just chilling, we're just joining. The Overlord dives in. The Overlord does get eyes on the pylon, so now we know what to look for when it comes to the tech. The Stargate or the Twilight Council. SHIN keeping himself over that pylon. And we're waiting for Classic to throw down. There it is. It is going to be the Stargate. A little bit further back, it is going to be barely out of vision of the Overlord. Classic just waiting for it to pass over. He's going for the Stargate. Now, last game it was a Void Ray opener into 1 Oracle into Blink. See what we go for this time. So SHIN does slip in and gets a full scouts. He confirms everything with that 1 ling. Gets eyes on the Stargate, and he might even see the first unit as well. I spoke too soon. Adept shuts it down. Stargate is done. And this time, Oracle first. Okay, we're done with the Void Rays. It's going to be an Oracle opener out of Classic, which means we should be seeing additional Oracles this time. And what looks to be a more standard opener. SHIN likewise joining up. Additional queens are on the way. And we'll see what Classic can get done with the initial Oracles. So we have that second Oracle, 3rd base being thrown down. My apologies, I didn't quite take notice that SHIN's own 3rd was actually a little bit later. So later 3rd base for SHIN. Just now finishing up. Bring down his spores, building up his queens. More passive start to the game. And soon we should be either deciding to throw down a safety Roach Warren or a Lair. Getting to that point here for SHIN. SHIN, he's going to be amassing Lings. There's a Twilight Council into Forge. Standard follow-up out of Classic. Double Oracle towards the third. Queens are ready though. Yeah, 3 Queens in position. No Spore. And Oracles, they one-shot drones. They get 4 or 5 drones. Oh, we're going to be throwing away the Oracles though. They are going to be thrown away. 1 Oracle for 6 drones. That is a good trade for Classic, but I'm a little bit concerned just because Oracles, they have more utility than just killing workers. We spoke about it briefly last game, how Oracles, they do so well sustaining or supporting a Stalker army. They're not going to be able to support anything when they're gone like that. So 1 Oracle goes down. There's 2 left. Behind this, Eva Chamber's on the way. So SHIN, it looks like he's going to +1 melee. +1 melee into Ling Hydra. Meanwhile, Classic just getting his 3rd base and going into +1 and Blink. So far, both players playing towards the mid game. Oh, that is going to be a much earlier Templar Archives though. Okay. Classic being a little bit greedy, taking up even further. Oracle moves out, gets 2 more drones, takes a lot of hull damage. We'll slip away. Still a lot of damage though. I assumed it was going to be +1 melee into Ling Hydra, but no, it's +1 range into Ling Hydra. So, getting to that composition. The range upgrade is an interesting one. This could be a sign that SHIN, he intends to take up even further. We'll keep an eye on him. SHIN is going for his 4th. Still droning. Getting up to 3 base saturation. He's almost there. And I'm curious if SHIN is actually going to saturate his 4th base or if he decides to build up and try to hit timing with +1 range. That's what I'm leaning towards here. He's building up more Hydras. So SHIN, he cuts workers at 58. That is less than 3 base saturation. And he's not droning. He's not droning. SHIN going for an under 3 base all in essentially. He's under 3 base saturation. Massing up purely Ling Hydra. Set up for a counterattack. Classic push on to creep. Oh! Oracle goes down. Massive pickup. Lings to hit the 3rd base. Cannon goes down. Probe's gonna be next. And workers are falling. Late reaction there from Classic. Massive run by. 9 probes going down. SHIN, he shuts down the main push. And Classic's in trouble. And again, SHIN's all in. SHIN's all in. The 4th base is just for Larva. Just for Larva. Doesn't even turn up the 3rd. Just massing up and pushing with Ling Hydra. It is that +1 range timing. +1 is done. SHIN commits. We spoke about it. Defending this 3rd and 4th base is difficult here on this map. Storm is finishing up. How many had Templar? 2. 2 High Templar. Soon to be 2 Storms. Base goes down. SHIN spreading out. Hydra range just about to finish. He's coming in for the surround. Tries to blink away. Storms are going to be able to zone. But no major connections. There we go. Better. Oh my god. Much better storm towards the end. But that was it. That was the one and only storm. Hydras, they can still fight this. The Stalkers, they need help. Again, no stasis traps. No shield batteries behind this either. Actually, 0 shield batteries. Oh. SHIN forcing his way through towards that natural. High Templar, they do warp in. Archon's going to be going down. A brutal pickup. And SHIN does free split. Avoids the storm, takes down the High Templar, gets 1. There's 1 left. And now none left. Gets 1 final storm. But last SHIN, he's done it. He's broken the back of Classic. Cybercore goes down, no more Stalkers, only Zealous to reinforce. They're going to be slow lots. Charge just began. GG gets called, and SHIN, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. SHIN essentially going for just under 3 base economy all in. Did just commit, sent it across the map. Unfortunately, Classic was unaware. Otherwise, we would have seen more of a defensive setup. If you remember, 0 shield batteries. 0 shield batteries back at home. Classic was pushing into the play that was going all in, so Classic got overwhelmed as well. Didn't realize that, again, SHIN just wasn't droning. He just wasn't making any workers whatsoever. He was committed to the all in and did catch an overwhelm Classic. Did catch him out on the map. GG. GG, well played. SHIN, he will take the series. And with that, we have our semifinals. Here we go as we switch our scenes over and catch up on the matches that we've been going over here. We have the quarterfinals of this week's KSL. Hero took down Trigger. Gumiho took down Cure. Dark advanced on over Creator. And SHIN advanced on over Classic. Some one-sided scores is what I will say, one-sided score lines, but some of these games were very close. Hero versus Trigger was very clutch PvP between Hero and Trigger. Likewise, Gumiho versus Cure. I mean, I feel like we got some peak Gumiho action in those matches, even with a crazy comeback as well. Got to feature some mech, we got to feature some Sky Terran versus Sky Terran. We had some great mirror matchups initially, and likewise coming into the ZvPs, both Dark and SHIN did come out on top, and they get ready for a potential mirror matchup. I say potential. If you've been watching our channel over the past 2 weeks, then you would know something here. You would know that Dark has not been playing ZvZ. He has not been playing ZvZ in the past events, in the last week's Alima League, alongside Wardy TV Monday, alongside Pigosor Cup, and Lil League Cup. You would know that Dark has been playing Protoss, like many others, like players like Clem, Rainer, even Yang Yakov in recent times, has been playing Protoss instead of Zerg and has been off-racing to avoid the mirror matchup. So Dark has also been indulging in that as well. So we might see a ZvZ, we might see a PvZ instead. Likewise, Hero versus Gumiho, always a treat, pappy. As we're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a break here. We're cutting the broadcast in half. We're going to be taking a moment to just refill our water, to get some snacks, get some food. If you're out there, I recommend doing so. Get some snacks, get some food, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. When we return, we will have the semifinals and then the grand finals thereafter to crown this week's KSL champion. We'll see you soon. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.